That's some serious shit. Very methodical in this. I don't know if I can do it. I'll try.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship, known as BUF. We're so glad that you came here today to join us in worship, either here in person or on Zoom. My name's Tom Nicholas. I take he and him pronouns, and it's my pleasure to be serving as celebrant for our service today. I really like looking out and seeing familiar faces that I know and other new faces of people that I haven't met yet. So I welcome everybody here. Our summer services are coordinated by the Reverend Barbara Wells Tenhove, while our minister, Sonny McMillan, is taking a much-needed break from preaching, but she is going to be back this coming week. It'll be great to see her. And Barbara is going to be leading our service today. Please look at all the announcements that are in your printed order of service. I'll just spotlight a few things. Today is the third Sunday of the month, which means that there's going to be a potluck downstairs in the social hall after the service. Please come and join in conversation with people that you know, and also try reaching out to people that you haven't met yet. And if you're on Zoom, you can just stay online after the service and chat with each other and have your own coffee or tea hour or whatever you want to drink while you chat with the other people on Zoom. I'd also like to tell our families that there will be an excellent program today for children from pre-K to 5th grade. We will sing them out a little later in the service, and they'll go upstairs for their activities. There's also a nursery way in the back there behind the windows for where little ones can play while parents listen to the service. Since today's service is about sports, I feel it appropriate to point out that Initiative 638, that's a Washington State initiative, it'll be on the ballot this November, and among other things, it would ban transgender girls from participating in K-12 female sports. I encourage you to learn as much as you can about this initiative and to look at it through the lens of our UU values, particularly generosity, pluralism, equity, and justice. And now, here's the part where I ask you to settle in and prepare for worship by listening to Karen play the prelude, which today is her own composition, Summer Rain. But before she plays, I just want to say that I noticed that when am playing my guitar at home, I play better if I just take a second to not just to take a breath, but also to kind of mentally shift into a mode of attention where I'm really present and paying attention to what I'm doing. And then I just play better when I do that. So I just encourage you right now to think of the worship service as something you're doing, you're participating in. You're not just passively a spectator. So take a breath and kind of shift in your mind into a mood where you're actively present in this moment. And Karen will carry us into the service by playing her composition. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. I really appreciate it so much. Good morning, everyone. I am indeed the Reverend Dr. Barbara Wells Tenhove, and I'm pleased to once again be leading our summer services here at Buff. Including this morning, there are 3 more of these summer services before our wonderful minister, Sunny McMillan, returns to the pulpit. She will be back to work next week, but she's back in the pulpit in September. So I hope that you'll join us on these last few Sundays in the sanctuary or on Zoom as we move inexorably toward the fall. Let's enjoy summer while it's still here. Now, I am sure that some of you are wondering why someone like me would do a sermon called Good Sports, a service where I plan to share some thoughts with you about what I've learned from watching sports. Now, I admit it surprises me that I'm doing this, for I am generally not very sporty. But over the past few months, I found myself as a part of my writing group, which incidentally is made up of retired UU ministers and their spouses. I found myself turning quite often to sports. And what I wrote, though not exactly in sermon form, has my ministerial perspective baked into it. I can't seem to help myself. The summer is a time when playing and watching sports increases, and this year in particular, we've not only had the regulars, baseball, basketball, etc., but also the incredible experience of having the World Cup in North America, including many games in Seattle. Did anybody by chance go to one? Did anyone get to go to one? Did anyone watch one? Yeah, a lot of people watched them. It was awesome. And for those of you completely ignorant of sport, the World Cup is an international soccer tournament, this year for men, next year for women. Well, the World Cup was exhilarating, and in so many ways, it showed the world the best, and at times the worst, of humanity. Watching it reminded me of watching the Olympics, something I wrote about for my group, which I'll share with you shortly. I'll also be talking about football, baseball, and basketball too. Now, for those of you who aren't too big into sports, I give you permission to fall asleep. Many of us do. I'm not embarrassed to tell you when watching baseball. But I hope the rest of you might enjoy what I have to say, as I think it will get you reflecting on how sport reflects life. But for now, we're going to sing a song, and you can imagine it was rather hard to find sport-oriented hymns. But I thought one gathered here at least references one strong body, which is something we need when we play. So we're going to sing it together, and how we're going to do this, for those of you who don't know it, it's familiar to many. You'll find it in your hymnal, 389, and we're going to sing it through all together once, and then we're going to break it up into a round. And so we're going to start over here, and then we'll come over here, and we'll do it in a round a couple times. All right? Can you do it? Are you ready? Let's go. I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and we'll do Gathered Here together. Here we go. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. Now this side over here. Gathered here in the mystery of the, and now you all with me. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in the strong body, gathered in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near every hour, gathered here in the mystery.
Good morning. My name is Bonnie Finney, and today's sermon topic, good sports, is near and dear to my heart. Unlike Barbara's, I have participated in a lot of sports, and thank you for allowing me to participate this morning. I've been an avid sports enthusiast for almost all of my 78 years. I started playing tennis at age 7 and didn't transition to pickleball until I was in my 70s. And although archaic rules about girls and sports prevented me from playing for my high school, I still entered tennis tournaments and played league softball in the summers until I was 18, and I did participate in many sports when I was in college. I believe these experiences have had a significant influence on who I am today and the values that I live by. So what have I learned from sport? First and foremost, I've learned humility. No matter how good I thought I was on the court, there was always someone better. And at some point, I was destined to lose. And no matter how good a player I might have been on a baseball field, if I didn't learn to help my teammates reach their potential, my team was still going to lose. I learned early on that it wasn't all about me. Second, I've learned the importance of sportsmanship. I know it's a hard lesson. I've learned the importance of sportsmanship, that is, respecting others. When an opponent makes a good shot, I always acknowledge it. I'm sorry. And after competing in a game, whether I win or lose, we always shake hands. We play hard and we play to win, but we always respect the other person and the effort that they put in. I've also learned resilience. In tennis, we all lose points. We lose games. We lose matches. I didn't always win, but in losing, I learned to deal with failure. And I never stopped fighting in those matches. I guess you'd call this having a sense of hope in the face of adversity. Sport has taught me to keep going no matter how bad things seem to be. And lastly, I've learned to be flexible. You never know what the conditions will be like. You have to deal with wind, spin of the ball, the speed of the ball. Am I playing a left-handed or right-handed opponent? Is the person tall or short? You need to adjust your game to fit the circumstances. Learning to be adaptable is a great life lesson. And of course, I hardly need to remind you that in tennis, each game begins from a place of love. So this morning, as Tom lights the chalice, let us remember the enduring values that one can learn from sport. Humility, respect for others, resilience in the face of adversity, a sense of hope, adaptability, and of course, always begin with love. And now will you join us in reciting our covenant?
Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service gives it life.
Celebrating our diversity and joined by a quest for truth, we work for peace and honor all creation. This is our covenant.
And now we invite our young people to find their way to the fun games and play time that's going to happen upstairs following Lucy. So we'll sing them away. The words are in your order of service. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious
Good morning. I'm not in your order of service. Just a quick announcement. I'm Liz Epperson, the Director of Religious Education for our children and youth here at Buff. And I have, there's a UUA article, I'm not going to read it. Serious challenge in parental well-being and how UUs can respond. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm here to give you one simple request. The bouncy castle is downstairs again, but I'm not going to blow it up until our little kids get a chance to eat, because our poor parents are going to try to feed their children before they go in the bouncy castle. So we're going to keep it as a surprise. So this is what we can all do here is don't tell the kids about the bouncy castle. I know you want to. You love our kids. How many kids we have is such a testament to how great you all are with our families. And I know you can do this. Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. We really appreciate the way you take care of all the children here. Okay. Here's a question for you to consider. What really keeps Buff going? In the end, I think it's the desire to serve. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, we always say. But then we add, and service gives it life. I know in my heart how true the last part of the sentence is. Service really is what gives life to the spirit of love. So as a community, we depend on each other, but even more accurately, we depend on each other's desire to serve this community. And that includes depending on each other's willingness to give this community financial support. So as the ushers come forward, please give as generously as you can. Thank you.
Karen. Thank you, Jocko, there on the drums. And thanks to all of you for your wonderful generosity, for the many gifts of spirit, of time, of love, of energy, and of your money to this beloved community. So I've asked Tom to read a poem to you that was written by Bob McKechnie. And Bob is a UU minister, retired like I am. He lives up near Cape Cod. And in our writing group that I will be reading some pieces from in a little bit, Bob really found his voice, and he's become just a brilliant poet. So I'm very excited for you all to hear a poem that he wrote about baseball that Tom is going to share with you.
It begins before the first pitch, with a glove worn soft by summers, with chalk lines drawn across the field in the quiet geometry of a diamond cut into grass like a promise kept across generations. A grandfather leans into yesterday as a child leans into him, their voices braided by names spoken like scripture. Heroes who once stood where dust lifts, who turned passion into myth and myth into something most remembered. The crack of the bat, sharp, sudden, lifts everyone to their feet, sends 9 men into motion. For a moment, nothing else matters but the ball rising into the sky and the hope it carries with it. There is skill in this game, a quick step, a hidden signal, a pitcher holding time hostage between heartbeats. There is thinking as much as doing, a quiet battle in every play. And beneath it all, something deeper is growing. A child learning patience, learning that missing the ball is not the end, that you can step back in and try again. On fields big and small, the game reaches beyond itself. Nights played for a cause, names worn to remember others, hands reaching out charitably to help where they can. And somewhere, always, a young player dreams of a perfect swing, of a ball sailing far, of becoming someone they are still discovering. This is how the game lives on, not just in records or trophies, but in the way it brings people together, in the lessons it quietly teaches, in the stories we keep sharing. Let's just take a moment.
That poem is just so beautiful, so beautiful. Well, late August is the time when baseball season starts to really heat up. There are a lot of games in the baseball season, 162, but as we go through the last 6 or 7 weeks of the regular season, things start to feel more important than they did earlier in the year. Now, I'm married to someone who basically watches or listens to every Mariners baseball game he can. It's on in our home a lot. And recently, when I knew I'd be preaching this sermon, I paid more attention than I usually do. I wanted to see if some of what I wrote in my writing class still held true. For in that group, I wrote, "People say baseball is boring, but what I think they really mean is that it's slow." Unlike most team sports, baseball doesn't operate with a clock. And yes, I know there's now a pitch clock, but whatever. The game lasts as long as 9 innings take, or more when, God help me, the game goes into extra innings. Or, as my husband declares gleefully, say it with me, free baseball! Baseball requires patience. You learn watching baseball how to relax into the experience. Like life, there is tedium interspersed with moments of great excitement. And you never know when something will happen until it does. A good lesson for all of us to learn. Now, this kind of reflection is where I seem to go when I write about sports. Things just sort of fall out of me in very sermonic kind of ways. I can say with a lot of confidence that other than preaching a version of this sermon in Blaine in May, this is the first time I've ever done a Sunday service with sports as the primary topic. It's taken me as much by surprise as it might you. Now, I say this as a reminder that the material I'm going to share with you wasn't originally written to be a sermon. They are thought pieces which speak of things that, at least to me, matter. They are related in that they're all about sports, but they come at the topic from slightly different angles. And I hope they reflect our religious perspective at least a little bit. And thank you so much, Bonnie, for helping us on the road toward that. Now, this first piece I'm going to share I wrote about because of the creation of a new basketball league we got into last year. And here's what I wrote about it last March in honor of International Women's Day. Shoot, shoot, I yell. Big Al runs down the court and, taking aim from the line, throws the ball in a perfect arc. Swoosh! The timer dings and pandemonium ensues. Game over! We won! The players jump and hug. Their strong arms hold on to each other, their long legs and big feet still moving, despite the long hour of play. With one voice, they start to hoot and flap their hands, imitating the lunar owls for whom their team is named. They are standing on the court now, some of them with children and wives to kiss, and others with husbands and babies, proud and loving. I'm awed by their athleticism. Their bodies are buff and beautiful. Watching them play is better than ballet. Another day, another game. This time the players run from one end of the pitch to the other, their feet a blur as they pass the ball across the field. A corner kick sends it flying toward the goal, but the keeper leaps into the air, tossing it over the net behind her. 3 little girls in the stands leap as the ball comes their way, and one grabs it out of the air. Cheering fans delight in their joy. Their dads gaze at them with love. You'll play pro when you're big, won't you, Emma? One proud dad says. She pumps her fist in the air and yells, yes! My father encouraged his 4 daughters to higher education, but never taught us to play the games he loved. 50 years ago, when Title IX made it possible for girls and women to really participate in sports, I wasn't interested. But now I can't get enough. Some wear false eyelashes and fake nails, proudly showing off their physical beauty. Others strut into the stadium, hard muscles and butch hairstyles on display. All of them sweat and scream and compete. Then, when the game is over, they hug and, yes, sometimes cry. They delight me with their strength, their toughness, their kindness, and their amazing ability to do a hard job well. Far away, in courtrooms and boardrooms, in churches and mosques, men in suits and robes push laws to keep women covered, force them back into the home. They smile and condescend and think they know what's best. I imagine them on the field, in the stadium, with these modern female gladiators. In my mind's eye, I see the men knocked down, out of breath, ugly in their ill-fitting suits, on the ground beneath the feet of these Amazons. Women's sports might just save the world. And I actually kind of believe this. For my birthday last year, Jocko got me a shirt that says, "Everyone watches women's sports." And it's true that more and more people are tuning in to see women do what they've been told for generations they can't: compete in the world sports and kick ass. I find it enormously inspiring. And just like in professions like mine, which took a long time for women first to be included and then to catch up with men, today the women are catching up a little bit. The National Soccer Organization pays the men's and women's teams the same. Just recently, the Women's National Basketball Association raised the salary cap to more than $1 million, which, yes, I know it's nothing close to what the men are getting, but it's a huge raise nonetheless. And more women are admired as athletes, not just as models for bathing suits. It's incredibly inspiring. And before I move on, let me say that I'm absolutely fine with trans athletes playing on the teams that suits their gender identity. Don't get me started. But it's true that women still don't play as many sports as men do, which is too bad. But a lot of women like to watch sports. So moving on, here's a piece I wrote about one sport that I find surprisingly compelling. We all have our guilty pleasures, things we don't always tell our friends about when no one is looking. Maybe you drink milk straight out of the carton, mouth bad words when listening to a boring friend on the phone, or go to Starbucks every morning for a grande flat white. Mine is football. I love football. I don't really understand it. Nobody ever taught me the rules. I mean, I have 3 sisters. But to me, football is like ballet, danced by gorgeous men wearing helmets and tight pants. I mean, look at them. At the beginning of each play, they line up. And like young animals, they twitch silently, quietly, until the call is made, and boom! Off they go, running and pushing, until the call is made, and I'm getting so excited, I'm messing up. Off they go, running and pushing, and then, as if by magic, one young fellow, not the biggest usually, but the wiliest, throws the ball. It turns and spins on its way to another young man who runs, pushing aside men bigger and stronger until, reaching up, the ball lands cleanly in his hands before he's pushed to the ground. Often the ball stays in his grip, and he leaps up, knowing it was a clean catch. But other times he drops it, and you can almost hear the collective groans as they realize they gain nothing on the play. Rarely, but significantly, one of the players on the other team snatches the ball, and all hell breaks loose. It's a glorious sight. Now, people find it odd that I am a fan. I'm not your average type, being female, old, and liberal. I have friends who tut-tut at me when I admit how much I care about the game. It's dangerous, and too many young men get head injuries, they say to me, and they are right. Many of the teams have racist names and histories, and they are right there too. It's a game for frat boys and rednecks, I'm told. Sure, it is. But it's also a game for little liberal white ladies like me. I first watched football with my dad after church. With 4 daughters, he was completely unsuccessful in convincing my sisters to care for the sports he loved. And I'm not really sure why it took with me. All I can think of is that football was connected to church, and I was the church daughter. We'd come home on Sundays, eat lunch, then he would turn on the TV, lie on the couch, and after debriefing the service and watching the first quarter of the game, fall asleep. I would watch from the armchair, a cat or a dog on my lap, and enjoy the beautiful young men before me, dancing to the tune of sport. I married a sports dude, though he prefers baseball, and every year our repertoire grows broader. We watch baseball and football, of course, but also the Olympics, women's basketball, two kinds, women's volleyball, and soccer. It's soothing to see athletes bring their best game to my TV. All around me, the world is on fire. People seem to hate each other for the dumbest of reasons. I spend a lot of time feeling despair and a real lack of hope. Then I watch a football game. These dudes bang hard into each other, but after the game, they shake hands and sometimes even hug. They take off their helmets, and I see their youth and energy shining in their eyes. Yes, I know it's a dangerous game with all sorts of things wrong with it. In that way, it's a lot like our troubled country. Yet I can watch a football game with someone who thinks completely different from me on every issue, and then we can both jump up and holler at a good play, we can high-five at a hard-fought one, and enjoy the chips, beer, and salsa that are on offer. Maybe, just maybe, America can learn something from football. Maybe, just maybe, we can shake hands at the end of the game, take off our helmets, and look into each other's eyes. It's one of the interesting things about sport. We've all heard the words good sportsmanship, and I think we know what it means. Follow the rules, listen to the umpire or referee, shake hands with your opponent when the game is done. It's what's so special to me about sports. There really are times when people are able to put aside their differences when the game is over. But sadly, not always. As much as Jocko and I watch baseball, I'm always disappointed that the players in the bigs, after the game, shake hands with each other, with their own teammates, not their opponents. In Little League, they always shake hands between winners and losers. And you may have heard of the kerfluffle that happened during the World Cup soccer final when the losing team turned their backs on the winning team, and there was even a bit of a fight at the end, and that really disappointed me. Good sportsmanship should always include reaching out after a game to the opponent you played so hard against. Thank you, Bonnie. Still, going to a sports game should be about more than being a good sport. So before I share one last and final piece about sports with deep spiritual meaning embedded in it, let's remember that these kind of sports are called games. And what are we supposed to do at games? We're supposed to have fun. So let's have some fun. Now, we're going to sing a song that may be very familiar to many of you, but it has a verse. And I bet you didn't know it had a verse. Karen told us that she read that it, After Happy Birthday, is the most well-known song in America. It was written in 1908, and the song is really fun. So we're going to sing it with the chorus, many of you know, and if you have a team that you want to say in place of home team, feel free. You can say Mariners if your heart isn't in pieces about the Mariners, or you can say anything but maybe the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But we'll see. Anyway, so in the middle, we're going to sing it twice, but in the middle, Tom's going to read you the verse. Ooh. So, yeah, we can stand up. There's no reason not to stand up. If you don't know the words, they're in your order of service. So here we go. Take me out to the ball game.
Nellie Kelly was sure some fan. She would root just like any man. Told the umpire he was wrong all along, good and strong. When the score was just 2-2, Nellie Kelly knew what to do. Just to cheer up the boys she knew, she made the gang sing this song.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back. So let's root, root, root for the Mariners. If they don't win, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Ah. How many of you have ever sung "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" in a church before? That was pretty fun, though. You never know what you're going to get when you come to Buff. Finally, I want to end by talking about one of the largest and greatest sports activities in the world, the Olympics. Now, the Winter Olympics took place in February in 2 places in Italy, and the games were, as they usually are, quite spectacular in so many ways. I'm always fascinated by the things people will do on sleds and skis, risking life and limb as they sail through the air or slide down the mountain. Ice dancing is gorgeous. Is it a sport? Who cares? It's really fun to watch. And curling is both boring and oddly compelling. And watching these mostly young people compete is exciting, though there was someone in the Winter Olympics, I believe, who was 51. And it was like her 4th or 5th Olympics. I mean, go figure. So at the beginning of the games, and some of you may have watched this, there's always a big show and a parade that welcomes the athletes. And they always do it very interestingly and very much in tune with the country that it's taking place in. And this last piece I wrote in response to that event, in particular a speech given by the head of the Italian committee who brought the games to Milan and Cortina. Gathered from all over the world, the athletes take their places in the enormous stadium, ready to skate, ski, and play their way into Olympic history. The energy is palpable as they strut through the huge Olympic rings, each person eager to meet the challenges their sport demands. As they take their seats country by country, they cheer each other on. Finally, as the host Italy parades by, the shouting and clapping rises. What a day for Italy! What a day for the world! After the spectacle of the parade, they sit, hushed and quiet for a moment, as the Italian head of the Olympic Committee takes to the podium. He speaks of the way sport brings us together, of the values of healthy competition and the ways athletes embody the best of humanity. I'm not there, of course. I'm watching. I'm not there, of course. I'm watching from my TV more than 5,000 miles away. It isn't even in real time, but recorded. And yet, like those skiers and skaters and hockey players, I hang on every word. He speaks clearly and slowly, no notes or teleprompter in evidence, and he mentions history and the difficult times we've lived through. He acknowledges how hard it is today for folks to get along. But he reminds us that these games are about armonia, harmony in Italian, and how necessary the Olympics are to show the world how to be together in peace. I nod my head. The camera pans on the vice president of my troubled country, and I sigh. Does he even know how painful it is to see him there after all the cruel and vindictive things he and his compatriot in the office he holds have said? I wonder if he's listening. The Italian gentleman continues. He speaks of the many years these games have occurred and how much the rituals and traditions matter. But then he says this: tradition is not the worship of the ashes, but the preservation of the fire. What? I hear them in my head again. Tradition is not the worship of the ashes, but the preservation of the fire. Write that down, I say to my husband. He does. He looks it up and tells me, it's by Gustav Mahler. Oh, no, wait, it's Benjamin Franklin. No, they're saying some 17th century Brit wrote it. I sigh. I know good words by anonymous when I hear them. For they are good words. Today in particular, when so many in my country are bowing down to the dried up ashes of race hatred, misogyny, and white supremacy, these words matter. Look, these words say, here's the flame that our country, yes, even our world, was built on. The ash worshipers don't see the fragile fire glowing below, but I see it shine. And for a moment, I believe in the tradition it represents: democracy, equality, freedom, hope. I gaze at the faces of the young people in the stadium and pray that they see it too. The best of sportsmanship on display. And it gives me hope. And that's a ball game that I'm happy to attend. Thanks for going with me on this journey through sport. We're going to sing one more song that feels like a good one to sing, and you will note at the very end, we're going to add a verse. So we're going to have a fifth verse to this wonderful song, Come Sing a Song With Me, which is number 346, and the final verse will be Come Play a Game With Me. Right, see? Okay, rise and body your spirit, and we'll sing together. please remain standing for the closing words. So we offer you, to end the service, a short bit of the poem that Tom read earlier about baseball and about life.
This is how the game lives on,
Not just in records or trophies,
but in the way it brings people together
in the lessons it quietly teaches.
and in the stories we keep sharing.
Let's keep sharing our lives and our stories as we play together the game of life. And now, as Tom extinguishes our chalice, let's read the words that are in our order of service. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of hope, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And we have a special way of closing at Buff. We invite you to make yourself into a couple of circles. It's not because we're going to be playing a game in these circles, but the bounce, that thing for the kids will be downstairs later. Circle